Hi guys, welcome back to my A2 German grammar course. I'm again very happy to have you here. I hope my lessons are useful and helpful for you. Please don't forget, you can always go back to my A1 grammar course and check out the lessons if you feel insecure or you want just to repeat something. Same goes with the vocabulary. So last week we talked about the comparative. Comparative is a grammar we need to describe the indifference or the inequality of two things. Sometimes I jokingly also say the not sameness, but of course this is not an English word. But sometimes during my lessons I come up with some expressions that are, for me at least, really helping my students to visualize something and to keep it in their mind. In our example we have here die Maus ist kleiner als der Elefant, and the comparative happens here with the adjective. This is 95% the case. So the mouse is smaller than the elephant. The pattern we need for our sentence: something is smaller. This is the adjective in comparative. Then something else. If we want to switch it around, we need to pay attention to the position. Der Elefant ist größer als die Maus. The elephant is bigger than the mouse. Just by putting the elephant in front, we cannot just express the same thing. We have to change it. This is what we learned before. It's not so hard, but unfortunately we have some different ways of building the comparative, and it depends a lot on what adjectives we're trying to use. So let's check it out. The first aspect we have to check out is the so-called umlaut. I'm sure if you are watching an A2 grammar course now, you are familiar with the umlaut, but if not, that is totally fine. You can Google it, or I can also tell you. It is E, Ö, and Ü. Those are the umlaut. We always have to change or to add an umlaut with the following adjectives. I will read, you can read after me, and just think in your mind, how would you say it? I give you the first example. The first one is alt. The adjective alt means old. So now you have to say an umlaut. Where can I put an umlaut here? What does make sense? Can we put it with the L or with the T? Of course not. So we have to switch it. Alt. We make the umlaut elt, and like before, we have to add the ER at the end. Alt becomes älter, older. And here I'm really appreciative that it's so similar to English, so I'm pretty sure you will manage. Let's go to the next one. Arm, poor, hart, hard, kalt, cold, krank, sick, lang, long, nah, close, scharf, spicy or pointy, schwach, weak, stark, strong, warm, warm, groß, big, hoch, tall, dumm, stupid, jung, young, klug, smart, kurz, short. Those are the adjectives we're talking about at the moment, and they have always the same build. I try to visualize it for you by making red the letters that will become an umlaut. Of course, A becomes Ä, O becomes Ö, U becomes Ü. And every adjective needs an ER at the end to become a comparative. This is the first part. Then we have Umlaut möglich. It means an umlaut is possible. So you have the option. This is a little strange, I agree. So for example, blas. Blas by itself means pale. And now you have two options. You can just put the ER to make it more pale, paler, blasser. But you can also do as we did before and make it blässer. Both options are possible. To be honest, I prefer the second one here, blässer. But it's up to you. You can look it up if you want. You will see that both options are completely fine. So, blass means pale. Glatt can mean even or straight. Sometimes it can even mean slippery. If you say der Boden ist glatt, it has the sound of the floor is slippery. And here also you can change it if you want to the umlaut, glätter, but you can also say glatter. Same goes for the next one, nass. Nass means wet. Nasser or nässer. Gesund means healthy. Gesunder or gesünder. Gesünder with the umlaut sounds more natural, but this is just my opinion. So the second category, umlaut, is an option. Next one, adjectives with an irregular form. We have two here. Hoch means high or sometimes tall. And we have höher. We do not say höher. It sounds really strange. So we have to change it into höher, taller. And the second one, I'm sure you know this also, gut, good or well, besser, better. Those are the exceptions. This is the first part of building those adjectives in comparative, and we have a second rule following. The second rule is more regarding the ending of an adjective. If we have an adjective that ends with er or en, in comparative, we can, if we want, if we are used to it, depends on where you're from and how you do it, you can cancel out the e. So we have here bitter, which means in English the same, bitter. And then we have bitterer. But we can also say bitterer. This is the same, actually. Why is this rule? Of course, it's a convenience thing, which happened over years or decades. And now we have both options. But if we have an ending with el in the normal adjective, we have to cancel out the e. This is not an option. I want to write it here to make it clear. We don't have the option to do or to not do it. We have to cancel it. For example, dunkel. Dunkel means dark. And we cannot say, I don't even know how to say it actually, wrong. Dunkeler. We cannot say that. So we cut it off. And then we add the er. So this one here is cut, so to speak. And then we have ler at the end. Again, this is a convenience thing. You heard how I struggled to pronounce it wrong. So this is the building rule. And of course, we will practice a little bit now. The first exercise is quite easy because they want you to really focus on the building of the comparative and also get familiar with the structure. So here we have in the example, Getränk, das Getränk, the beverage. And we have kalt, cold. And what do we want to say? Dieses Getränk ist kälter als das andere. The position, I don't have to say anything about it. If you are struggling a little bit with that, you can watch the other video I did last week, no problem. And then you can come back. I think this exercise has a double challenge because they don't give you the article. They do not tell you der, die, das, which is a good thing. So you can practice. Speaking of experience, the articles, der, die, das, are a big challenge. And this is good for practice. So try to take your time. You can press pause and do this exercise. Dieses Sofa ist älter als das andere. Dieser Raum ist größer als der andere. Diese Stadt ist näher als die andere. Dieser Apfel ist saurer als der andere. Dieser Mantel ist länger als der andere. Diese Suppe ist schärfer als die andere. Dieses Essen ist gesünder als das andere. Diese Geschichte ist kürzer als die andere. Diese Zigaretten sind stärker als die anderen. Dieser Stein ist härter als der andere. Dieser Baum ist höher als der andere. Dieser Film ist besser als der andere. Dieser Wein ist trockener als der andere. Dieser Pullover ist wärmer als der andere. Dieser Hund ist klüger als der andere. Diese Farbe ist dunkler als die andere. As you can see, the pattern is really something we can get used to very quickly. Some remarks we have here: besser. Besser is an irregular one. Höher actually also. Remember, hoch becomes höher. Then we have something which is optional. We can also say trockener without the E. This is up to us, but for me, especially in written form, trockener just sounds more right. It looks better. But really, if you find it without the E, as I told you, it is an optional thing. We have here das Sofa, neutral. And then we have das andere, der Raum, der andere, die Stadt, die andere. And then we have also a plural version, diese Zigaretten, die Zigaretten plural, die anderen. If you want an exercise with andere or with der, die, das again, you can write it in the comments below. I can make an extra video about that, but I also recommend you, I'm not sure it is video 2 or video 3 on my A1 course about der, die, das. I'm not saying that to get views or something, but check them out and do the exercises. If you just browse it and you don't do it and you finish it like really quickly without the exercise, I mean, it's not the best result you can have watching those videos. This is really like a lesson, like I would teach someone. Of course, not that interactive as I would like it, but it's up to you to make the best out of it. So this is the exercise number 1. We have a second exercise. Let's read the example. Paul spricht sehr schnell. Aber du sprichst viel schneller als Paul. What does it mean? It means Paul speaks very quick or fast, but you speak faster than Paul. Maybe it's super easy for you, maybe it's not. I just want to make clear. Paul here is the subject. In the second sentence, he doesn't become the subject anymore, but he is the thing that gets objectified for the comparison. We have a new subject, which is you. Now, you is the subject. Later, when you are more advanced, you could also say, aber viel schneller als Paul sprichst du. This is super advanced, at least B, but that's okay. I just want to say it to make you realize that the position of the word does not identify the grammarly function. This is really important. So I hope I don't bore you, but I just do this to help you. Okay, so we have examples here. You can read them. And always try to compare you do with the person in the exercise. For time reasons, we will stop here. I hope you did the exercise. Take your time if you want to do it again. We will compare them in the next video next week. You can also leave a sentence, a comparison in the comments below. I will correct it, of course. The community is small enough, so I have the time and the capacity to check out all the comments. So thank you so much for watching, for supporting. Please like, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram if you want. And I will see you in a week the latest. Bye.